Hello, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing some texture painting. I have these two pieces that I picked up separate. The wood pieces are sofa legs, and then the other piece is like a piece to like some the columns to a bed rail. So I'm going to put these two together and create a riser. So once I have them together, I'm going to set them aside and let them dry for plenty of time just to make sure that the bond is good. So once it is dry, I'm going to go ahead and mix up some paint. Here I'm using some brown acrylic paint that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. I mixed it with some salt wash. I'm going to go ahead and stipple it onto my piece to create texture. And I'm not going in any way, shape, or form. I'm just stippling, brushing, just creating as much texture as I can. And I'm going to mix a couple paints. I'm not really like one to mix a lot of paints, but I was inspired, and so here we are trying out different paint colors. Then here I'm gonna grab some chalk paint in the color mineral. I'm gonna go ahead and start stippling it on over the brown, and the brown paint is not completely dry and I'm okay with it mixing up a little bit. With this color as well, I'm not really going in any certain pattern or anything. I'm just stippling and brushing, and we'll see what we come up with. After this, I'm going to go ahead and grab some hazelnut chalk paint, which is pretty dried out, but I wanted to use it up. So we're going to go ahead and add this color on top of these colors. So my goal with both of these pieces was to achieve like a architectural antique salvage. You know how they have all the texture, the chipping. That's kind of what I was going for here. Next up, to bring out some of the detail and add some dimension, I'm going to dry brush some Waverly chalk paint in the color Ivory right over some of the detail. So I love the color variation in this one. I went ahead and waxed it with some DIY wax, and here it is, all set up. I just set up this cute swan right on top with some hanging greenery, and I think it came out pretty good. What do you guys think? Next up, so I picked up these urns at the thrift store. They were all chipped up and had some cracks. I went ahead and mixed up some paint into the same bowl I was using with the other ones. Um, and I also added some salt wash to this one. So I mixed up this gray paint and the ivory just because I wanted like a lighter gray. I was going for a concrete look for this one. So for paint, I usually don't measure colors or anything. I just add as I go, and once I'm happy with the color, I'm good, and then I just add my salt wash. So here I'm going to start stippling on my paint. This paint was a little bit more, I guess, watery, or like not as thick as the other one. So this one I do let dry overnight, and yes, I'm using the same brush. It does add a little bit of brown into it, but that's okay. I kind of like the look. And these urns did have a lot of chips and cracks. Even on the inside, I could see where it was gonna crack. But I just added some Tite Bond along the crack on the inside, and that fixed the problem. So if you ever come across like anything like this type of urn or pot and it's cracking on the inside, I didn't record it, but usually if I just run some glue to the inside, that fixes the issue. So here, once my paint has dried a bit and also thickened up, I go over it with my chip brush and just stipple right over that just to give it a little more texture. So once it is all dry, I'm going to go ahead and dry brush it with a chip brush with some Waverly chalk paint in the color Ivory. So I'm going to go ahead and dry brush, and not in any way, shape, or form, just dry brushing different directions. I'm also going to stipple in some areas. So I went a little heavy here, but it's okay. It's once I'm all done, you probably won't even tell. I'm just going for it, stippling and dry brushing, and we'll see what the end result is. So once this dries, I went ahead and grabbed some antique Waverly wax. I watered it down, and I'm going to go ahead and sponge it on. My goal here is also to make it look very aged, like it's sat outside for a long time. That is my goal with this one. Then I went ahead and used the same Waverly Ivory chalk paint, and I'm going to go ahead and stipple right over that. Now to bring out some of that detail, I'm going to go ahead and use this DIY wax Shipwrecked, which as you can see I hardly even use, but I figured it was perfect for this just to create some patina on this little urn. If you've never layered paint before, I highly encourage it. This was actually really fun to do, and if you're painting a thrifted item and you mess it up, all you do is paint over it. It's not that serious, and just have fun with it. So I went ahead and added some clear wax over this just to lighten up that blue a bit. And as we come to an end on this video, I want to thank you guys so much for being here, and stay tuned for the end to see the end result on these urns. And if I haven't said so already, my name is Amber. If you like thrift flips, trash of treasures, Dollar Tree makeovers, you're in the right place. Please subscribe and follow for more, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.